Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam. Okay. Last time we looked at the Krit Pratyaya called Ktin. Ktin Pratyaya. What is Ktin Pratyaya? It's a Pratyaya which is added in the sense of any Karaka other than Karta and also Bhava. So you should keep one thing in mind. The word Bhava is used in two contexts. One is Karmani Bhave Prayoga. There, that Bhava in a Lakara is only third person singular, if you remember. We cannot have any other form. Whereas the Bhave that we are talking about now, it has the meaning of the abstract noun. And it can go in all persons and numbers, cases and numbers. So this bhava that we are talking now, when I said lut is in the sense of bhava, thin is in the sense of bhava, these have a slightly different connotation from the bhava as bhava prayoga. See, bhave prayoga also the meaning is dhatu artha. When I say, supyate, supyate means what he sleeps. Dhatu artha only, there's nothing more in it. Similarly, if I say gamanam, going, it's dhatu artha only, gamyate. But yet, gamyate has got a different sense of saying, as I said, it's only dhatu artha, therefore person numbers don't count. We only use third person singular as one standard with it. But when we look at this bhava now in Kridanta, this is a noun and it will take all case and numbers. It is said dravyavat. It is like a thing which can be tangibly be sensed. So there's a subtle difference here. If it doesn't make too much sense, don't worry about it, okay? I said this because the word bhava I'm using in both places, and it may cause some confusion to some people. All right? So this thin is added in the sense of bhava and also in the sense of any karaka except karta. All right. Now, there was a question, I think last time I did say that thin pratyaya can be added almost to all dhatus in the sense of bhava. I want to make a correction there, okay? Because it is added to a lot of dhatus, but there are a lot of exceptions too. So what I have done is if you have gone and looked at your document on the shared drive, you would have noticed that I have made some changes to it. So let me show you what I want to highlight. Okay. So this is what I added after we had our class last week. A large number of dhatus take thin in the sense of bhava. Not all. Some dhatus will also take pratyaya sense of other karakas. This I had said last time too. Not every dhatu will take in all karakas senses. But while thin is the utsarga means a general rule, there are many apavadas. Apavada means an exception. So these two words you should get used to. One is utsarga, a general rule. Apavada, an exception to the rule. Suppose an exception has another exception, it will be apavada to apavada. Okay? So two words, very important. Utsarga, general rule, apavada, exception. So the utsarga is thin. Means generally, unless said otherwise, all dhatus will take thin. But then there are rules which will say, no, not thin, take something else. So that being the case, we will not find this applicable to all the dhatus. Since I thought I had kind of communicated in a way that this could be an understanding that it's applying to all dhatus, I want to make sure you understand that it is corrected, not to all dhatus. For example, if you take any of the 10th gana dhatus, we have not seen 10th gana dhatus much so far, but some of you know 10th gana dhatus. So I'm saying if you look chur, it becomes with churadi dhatus. So there it becomes what? Chur is the dhatu. You add a pratyaya called nich to make a causative. We will look at this later in detail. Okay, becomes chori. And that chori is a new dhatu. It's a sanadyanta dhatu. Right? And that dhatu will not take thin. You will get a form chorana. It looks like lut only. But then lut in bhava will become choranam. And lut in thin will become chorana. One a will get added. So last time also I think we had this question that when you add thin, is there anything else? Three pratyaya is added or not? Three pratyaya is always waiting. If something has to be added, it will get added. What does three pratyaya do? It will take a form which can be feminine and convert it to feminine if necessary by adding a pratyaya. Are you with me? Certain pratyayas cannot be converted to strilinga when you add. Like lut, if I add bhave, you cannot make strilinga out of it. But certain pratyayas will allow, like what? Tavya, aniya, etc. Trich. In such dhatus where it's allowed to become strilinga, including a pratyaya like thin, which is already meant to be strilinga, there could be an extra pratyaya added to make sure you get the right pratipadikam for the feminine gender. And that happens when you do chorana, it becomes chorana. So all causatives will end with a, na, it will be. No? That's how it will become. Sthapana, harana, marana, like this it can become. So this is a fairly large exception. And any sanadyanta dhatus in general will not take thin. So there are more exceptions. We will look at them at an appropriate time. Because if I load all that into your head right now, it will cause overload. So we will go to it a little later. But understand what? That thin is a very common form. Good to know that. But there are exceptions to thin. Every dhatu need not take thin pratyaya. This is clear? Any questions on thin based on what you have seen last time? Feel free to ask now. Yes, Bhuma. Unmute. Yeah.
No, Namaskara, Swamiji. My question is on certain dhatus and their forms, Swamiji. Bhu Satayam is Bhavanam, living.
Yeah.
And Bhutihi in
Correct.
Tinpratya.
Correct.
So I just wanted to know if Bhavanam building is Adhikarana form of
Lut. Of lut. Of lut.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look. See, it doesn't look like it would be to me. Because, see, you'll have something like Bhuyate Asminniti Bhavanam. Doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Yes, Swamiji. Because
it is better to take Karana there also. Because Bhavati Anena Rupena iti Bhavanam. That would make more sense to me.
Bhavati Anena Rupena.
That would make more sense to me. See, when I say these things, understand that I may be wrong sometimes. I may have to make correction too at times. Okay?
Okay.
The language is too vast. So I'm telling you, when you ask me a question, based on what I think, I'm giving an answer.
Swamiji, again, a follow-up.
Because sometimes, let me finish your answer first, okay? Sometimes what happens is this. Although we have this pratyaya meanings, in the language there is a rudhi, what's called a rudhi, which means a given word has come to acquire a given meaning. That's most important. Once that convention is there, that this word means this, you don't question how it comes to that meaning. That's the meaning. If I decide, see, if you decide to call your son Kuchu, it's Kuchu. There's no need for any further meaning. All right? Meaning may be there, but you may not intend that meaning also. Okay. So these possibilities exist in the language. Therefore, why I'm saying that, suppose Bhavanam has acquired the meaning of a building.
Okay.
Then it need not come through a particular derivation. It need not. Okay? That much you keep in mind. Every time, a lot of words in Sanskritam will support a derivative meaning, which is good. But we can't be sure it is always so.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Yes.
Just a follow-up, which is similar to this, because I noticed ni is to obtain or carry, ninch prapne.
Correct.
And nayanam is obtaining, whereas eyes is...
It leads you. It carries you where you want to go, right?
Okay.
Nayati. It takes your mind in that direction. Even a person who leads is called a neta because he leads people. He carries people with him in a way. That's etymological only. It's an extension of that carry meaning, prapane. When you take people with you and reach them somewhere, you become the leader for them. Therefore, he's called a neta. Similarly, the eyes will lead you and take you where you want to go. Therefore, it is neta. It's okay. No problem with that.
Okay. And similarly, apa is to gain, and apanam is gaining, and shop apanam is also like aham apanam gachati.
Apanam, yeah.
So it like, does it have a derivation to this gaining?
Have to look. Offhand, I don't know. Possible. Because that could be a adhikarana. Place from where you bring.
Okay.
But see, it'll be bring. This up is to pervade. It's possible. Have to look, Kama.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look in the kosha, if that meaning is there in the tradition, you will see that meaning given. It will say adhikarana. It will give you that meaning. You will see something like niyate asmin, apniyate asmin, or something like that you will find. Okay. That's a good way to check. Look in the kosha, and if you find a meaning like that, then you know you are on the right track.
Okay, so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All good?
Yes, so much.
Good. No, I'm asking anybody else, not you alone now. Okay. So let's go back. So that was one important thing I wanted to update all of you on. And then we saw several forms. This I told you is important to know that the two words have exactly the same meaning. Darshanam, drishtihi, stavanam, stutihi, karanam, kritihi have exactly the same meaning with that vyutpatti. Okay. Kriyate iti kritihi meaning is not there for karanam necessarily. Don't take it that way. But in a given context, if they're used as synonym, they have exactly the same meaning. The only difference is in gender, which is irrelevant to the meaning. Okay. So that's how these words, we saw several of them. So today, what I thought we will do is we will start looking at Lakara. I had told you have to look at lot and vidhiling. So we will have a glimpse at lot and vidhiling. Hope you have done some work on lung. Okay. That's why no extra homework last week. So you have time to do things which otherwise you won't find time. All right. So because some of these things I will mention in class, I am not going to spend more time on lung forms. We have done once, and that's where it will be. So it will be for you to catch up in your own time. The more you catch up, the more you will be at ease with the language. That's how it will work. Okay. So now let us look at Okay, where is it? Where's my class? Just give me 2 seconds, okay? I'm looking for my file, which I thought I had opened and kept, but I'm not spotting it. Now I spotted it. Okay. So now, so last time we had seen lung lakara, if you remember. Just so you remember something. Lung lakara. What is lung lakara? Past tense, right? And what do we do? If there's an upasarga, you add that. Then you have an a, which is called an at, agama, plus dhatu, plus vikarana pratyaya, plus ting pratyaya. This is a normal form. And if the dhatu is beginning with a vowel instead of a, you will end up adding an a. All right. And this a and a, these two are common to lung, lung, and ring. 3 lakaras. Lung, lung, ringshu, ad udattaha. This is sutra. So one line reminds me that lung, lung, and ring will all take an extra addition before the dhatu. But if there's an upasarga, it is right before the dhatu. Upasarga comes, to the left of the a. All right. So with that context, we saw a few forms. Bhu becomes abhavat, but paribhu will become what? Pari plus abhavat. Paryabhavat. Abhi plus bhu becomes abhyabhavat. Kri becomes akarot. But vikri will become vi akarot vyakarot. Okay. Vyakr is vyakarot. Like this. When the upasargas are there, it's very easy to get thrown off in lung forms because you don't see that a. And you think it is not there. What happened? It is there. It is hiding after the upasarga. You should be extra cautious there. Gam becomes agachat. Adhigam becomes adhyagachat. Sandhi we have to see. We will look at later. Anu plus agachat will become anvagachat. Right? And dhatu's beginning with vowel, what happens? Instead of a, you get a. So if it's dhatu itself beginning with a, it becomes a. Atat will become atat. You will see as though there's nothing happening. Because a and a get merged to form one dirgha a. Ich will become aichat. Ush will become aushat. Vriddhi letters will come here. We will look at this vriddhi business more later. Okay. And lung is in what sense? It's in the sense of past tense. Strictly only past tense, of past tense other than today and not remote, but is used more loosely now. All right. Now let us come to lot. Vidhiling and lot. Why did I combine these? Because predominantly they have same meanings. Okay. My goal is to make you understand the possibility of meanings. Forms will require time. It's not going to happen in one 2-hour session. I know that very well. It will require a lot of time. So you spend the time on it as you go. So now the important meanings. There are many meanings for these lakaras, but commonly accepted very important meanings are vidhi, nimantrana, amantrana, adhishta, samprashna, prarthaneshu, ling, and lot. Both will come. This is a sutra, essentially. So why I'm doing this? Because even as I'm giving you these, if we ever go to the point where you have enough stamina and we study more Panini, then this will all sink in very easily for you. These are the words used. What are the meanings there? Vidhi means an order. Vidhi means an order. Like it's also called an injunction. So the Veda, when it says, ahar ahar sandhyam upasita, it means anybody, whoever it is, must do sandhya vandanam every day. Or it says what? Yavat jivam agnihotram juhuyat. Juhuyat. That juhuyat is called vidhiling form. And that means what? It's an injunction, an order. Vidhi. Do it. Till when? Till you die. Once you are married, till you die, every day you must do agnihotram. Who says so? Veda says so. And what is it? A vidhi. Vidhi means an order, a command. You can also bring in nishedha with that. Don't do this. Suram na pibet. Do not drink alcohol. Himsam na kuryat. Do not hurt. So do's and don'ts, injunctions and even in the form of prohibitions are both coming under what? Vidhi. This is clear? Vidhi. Very common use in the Vedic context for us. In fact, our Purvamamsaka will always fight with Vedanta, saying if there is no Vidhi, your Vedanta is useless. Because Veda has to give me a job to do. It must command me. Otherwise, what's the use? That's the sense. Second word, second meaning for Vidhiling or lot is Nimantranam. There are two words here, Nimantrana and next one is Amantrana. Okay. What is the difference? Nimantrana generally means that it is a mandatory invitation. You don't have a choice. You have to RSVP, yes or no. You cannot say, "Theek hai, if I feel like I'll come." So normally today's most of the wedding invitations are what? It is Amantrana. It's your choice. You may choose to accept, you may not go. But Nimantranam is, typical example given is, suppose you're doing a Shraddham at home. You invited a Brahmana for Shraddha Bhojanam. You know, that Shraddham, very important component is the Brahmana. Or let us say you're inviting a Brahmana to come to officiate in your daughter's wedding. He says, okay, and doesn't show up. What will happen? Won't work, right? Therefore, where you have to commit or say, I won't, that kind of an invitation is called a Nimantranam. Right? What is Amantrana? Just remove that necessity. Okay? You're invited. You may go. You may say, I will come for reception. I will not come for the wedding. These are all Amantrana. Nowadays, they give you a separate one. You know, some people only for reception, some only for wedding. Both are possible now. But these are all different methods. All right. So with the Nimantrana, invitation that cannot be rejected. As I said, if you cannot go, you have to say, I cannot come. Once you accept, you must do it. Amantranam, an invitation can be rejected. Okay. Adhishta, you respectfully request something, often in exchange for money. So suppose you go and tell a music or dance teacher, please teach me Bharatanatyam, or please teach my daughter Bharatanatyam. She is not going to do it today for free. You pay for it, right? She can say yes or no, but there is generally a respectful request. Can you please do this for me? And the person may or may not. That is called adhishta. And then there is some prashna. You know, would you do this kind of thing? Some prashna. And prarthana is a plain request. Not necessarily great no great respect involved here. See, these are all shades of meaning. And all these shades of meaning are said by both Vidhilinga Lakara and Lot Lakara. Which means that when you see a Vidhilinga Lakara, how to translate is a headache, in a way, if you take it too seriously. How to translate which meaning? Not easy. And these are not the only meanings. There are more. There are more meanings too. Okay. And lot and krit pratyayas are also used in the vidhi. Lot I already told you. Krityas are also used. And there the word uses praisha. Praisha means preshanam. Go. Do. That called presha. So some grammarians make a difference between vidhi and praisha. Some don't. For all practical purpose, you take it also like a vidhi. Don't have to, at this point, we don't have to, split hairs about it. Praisha. Atisarga is you do as you please. It's totally your choice. Prapta kala, extra meaning kritya and lot. This is time for it. Time to eat, time to go, time to wash, whatever, time to sleep. These are all called prapta kala. So these meanings are there for lot as well as kritya pratyas. So this prapta kala meaning is not there for vidhiling. Second, also vidhiling can be used in the sense of cause and effect. Hetu hetumat bhava, which means, yadi gachet, if he goes, tarhi prapnoti, he will gain it. This kind of a cause and effect relationship. There also vidhiling is used. Very common. Yadi tarhi. Yadi means if, tarhi is then. Two avyayas. Yadi and tarhi. They may not be said explicitly, but they are implied. Many a time when a vidhiling is used. Okay. This is clear? Main meanings are these. There are more meanings. There's a meaning with ichha. I desire this. In that sense, you can use vidhiling. But as said, normally when you see a vidhiling usage in the Shastra, you normally don't go around looking for all these. You will go with what the meanings we have told you typically. Therefore, I don't want to overload. Understand these are the meanings, common meanings. These are not exhaustive by any stretch of imagination, but these are common meanings. Then there is something called Ashirling. See, sometimes we will say Lakara is only ling. We won't even say Vidhiling, Ashirling. Now the ling is divided into two basic things. One is Vidhi. Vidhi means predominantly Vidhi has all these meanings. Nimantrana, Amantrana, all these meanings are there. Another one is Ashihi. What is Ashihi? Ashi is Ashamsanam, Ashihi. What is this Ashamsanam? Apraptasya ishtasya arthasya praptum ichha. See, now you should be able to start understanding these kind of sentences. Ichha. What is ichha? A desire. This is an example of an apavada took thin. Ich becomes ichha. Instead of ichthi or something, it becomes ishta, ichha. Has the meaning of what? Bhava. Desire. Praptum ichha. What is praptum? To gain. Desire to gain. What? Apraptasya ishtasya. Ishta is what? What is desired? Kta pratyaya. Aprapta is what? Prapta again kta pratyaya. That which is not gained. A desire to gain that which is not gained is called ashamsanam. Big word for this much. And a desire which is very committed desire, and also it's in the sense of a blessing. Because when a person blesses you, what does the blessing mean? Suppose somebody you go to, if you're getting Upanayanam or getting married, you have to do namaskaram to every fellow who is older than you by one day also. You have to do so many namaskaras that day. What are they supposed to tell you? Ayushman Bhava. Many of them will tell you. Earlier, you had to do a namaskara and you would tell your pravara. Your whole pravara I have to say. Asmi Bhu, this Gotra, this Rishi, this Yajushakadhyai Aham, Lakshmana Sharma Aham Asmi Bhu. Something like that you will say. When you do that, the fellow has to remember, listen to your name and say, Dirghayushman Bhava Lakshmana Sharma. That's what he should do. Now, All this is gone. But when they do a namaskara, they have to give their entire biodata. Biodata in terms of their lineage and which Veda Shakha they're studying. That's important. And then a response will come as a blessing. What's the blessing? Suppose I say Dirghayushman Bhava. What does it mean? May you live long. May you have a full life. Now, by your saying, am I going to have a long life? It doesn't work that way. In fact, suppose somebody is remembering you and you enter the house. They tell you, oh, Shatayas. Means what? You are going to have 100 years now. You come exactly when you are remembering you. Will you get it? May not. So every time somebody blesses, what is it really? It's a prayerful wish. That's what it is. A blessing really is ashamsanam, but coming with a prayer backing it, and therefore it has potency. So this kind of an ashamsanam is called ashirvada, and therefore a lakara. The lot lakara can be used in the sense of ashamsanam. Ling lakara, when it's used, does not work the same way as vidhiling. It has a different form. It is ling lakara only, but has a different form. Okay. So, for example, you say, Shubham Bhuyat. Bhuyat is Ashirling. Shubham Bhavatu is Lot Lakara. Both are okay. But Ashirvada more specializes Bhuyat. Bhuyasam. Medhavi Bhuyasam. Varchasvi Bhuyasam. If you know Agni Adhana, you will hear these things there. Right? So where blessing is involved, Ashirling may come. But otherwise, lotus point. Lot can be used in both senses of Vidhi or Ashi. Whereas Vidhiling cannot be used for Ashirvada. It has a different form. Ling Lakara has a different form. And therefore, since it has a different form, that form is called Ashirling Lakara. Loosely. It's not really different Lakara. But we do, for all practical purpose, we consider the Lakara. Ashirling Lakara. Okay? This is clear? So, these are the possibilities. So, lot can be used, Ashirling can be used for the meaning of a blessing. So, in English translation, they'll call it benediction. Benedictive mood. That's how they'll call it. Whereas lot will be called imperative mood. No? Lakara is called mood in these contexts, not a tense. So you will find these words, benedictive mood, imperative mood, etc. So understand, this is what it means. All right. Ashirling, don't worry about. All right. I'm giving you a discount up front. Don't worry about it. When you hear a word, bhuyasam, you'll have to understand. But until it comes, don't break your head over it. Whole Bhagavad Gita, you can get away without knowing Ashirling, you'll be okay. All right. So this much is the predominant meanings of lot and ling and ashirling. All right. So now the lot lakara, we will look at the forms. Okay. Forms are like this. Pathatu, pathatam, pathantu. I'm taking patadhatu. Patha, pathatam, pathata. Pathani, pathava, pathama. So unless you know the difference, lat lakara, what will it be? Pathami, pathavaha, pathamaha. If you are very loose, it'll all look similar. Pathani, pathami, maybe the typo here must be the same. No, it's not. Pathani is very different, okay? And pathava, that visarga makes a big difference. Pathava is lot lakara. Pathavaha is lat lakara. Hopefully lat lakara all of you know now, okay? I'm assuming that much. All right. So this is how it will decline. Now you see a second form here. Pathatat. Here also you see pathatat. This form is only an extra form in the meaning of ashihi, a blessing. Cannot use it for a command, vidhi, etc. You cannot use. Okay. Normally, you don't see the second form. Tat, tatang pratyaya, you don't see normally. So I will give a discount. If you don't remember pathatat, it doesn't matter. Pathatu, pathatam, pathantu. Patha, pathatam, pathata. Pathani, pathava, pathama. Can you remember this much? Now, we will see further what's important here, even within this. Now, I want to just look at lung lakara also, so you can see some similarities here, okay? Now you see, lung is apathat, apathatam, apathan. Apathaha, apathatam, apathata. Apatham, apathava, apathama. You drop the us. What happens, you see? Pathatam, you will get correct form. Pathata, you will get correct form. Pathava, you will get correct form. Pathama, you will get correct form. Do you see that? Here it becomes pathatu. A is gone, of course. Pathatu. And here it becomes patha. Visarga is not there. And here pathani. Just some idea for you to, whatever works for you, help memorize, okay? These are just little things. Sometimes you observe and say, oh, wow, that's pretty easy. Now I just have to extend a little. That's good. If you can do it, that's good. Because we have to manage our memory, limited memory in a useful way. We have to stretch it as far as it can go. And that works when you have associations. So I'm pointing out associations where I can. All right. Now this form, this is what parasmaipada. Dhatu is parasmaipada. In a parasmaipada dhatu, look, these templates which you're seeing for patha will work for 1, 4, 6, 10 ganas. In the beginning also, in lat also, I told you what you have memorized will work for 1, 4, 6, 10 blind, not for the remaining. You have to do some extra work there. But 1, 4, 6, 10 means you have covered half the dhatus, more than half the dhatus. You are in great shape. So good to start with that. Later, the 5th, 6th, 8th, and all we'll look at later. Doesn't matter. But to start with, get this much straightened out. So, patadhatu, bhudhatu, they're all in first gana. All right. Now, lung, when we take atmanepada, what will be the forms? The forms are a little different. What are the forms? These are the forms. Labadhatu, labhatam, labhetam, labhantam. Labhasva, labhetham, labhadhvam. Labhai, labhavahai, labhamahai. This avahai, amahai, if you see, close your eyes and say lot lakara. Okay? So, see, everything has something very interesting about it. Tam, antam, etc. You can't do that. But when you say avahai, amahai, ai, avahai, amahai, close your eyes and say it lot lakara. Uttama Purusha. Right? Saha viryang karavavahai. Right? Ma vidvishavahai. That ahai, mahai, vahai are all lot lakara. Now, will it be a vidhi there? See, what are we doing in Sahana Vavatu? It's a Shanti mantra. Right? Sahana Vavatu. Saha now avatu. Right? Finally, what? Tejasvi now adhitamastu. May our learning be brilliant. Ma vidvishavahai. Who is saying this? It is dual. I and the teacher are both saying together. Is it my order to the teacher or teacher's order to me or either way? No, it's not. Then what is it? It's a prarthana. See the extra meaning now? It is not vidhi. It is not nimantrana. It is not amantrana. But what is it? It is prarthana, a prayer. Is money involved? No. It's a prayer, a fervent prayer, a heartfelt prayer. Right? Therefore, the meaning avahe, amahe will come in prarthana meaning there. This is how you have to see contextually what meaning will make sense. But as I said, predominantly you will find within mantrana, etc. will work. Okay. Then let's go back. The other thing you should remember is this swa and dhvam. Swa and dhvam, if you see, you know it is atmanepada, guaranteed. Whether it's lot or not, you can't be sure, okay? But you know it's atmanepada. And swa will always be atmanepada madhyama purusha ekavachana, and dhvam will be what? Madhyama purusha bahuvachana. What is it in lat lakara? Does somebody remember lat lakara now? Labdhatu. Labhase, labhete. Then what do you see? Bahuvachanam in madhyama purusha. Someone can raise your hand. Just want to remember what's lat lakara looking like. Yes, Priyanka.
Labadhve.
Labhadhve. And that dhve is what? This dhvam becomes dhve. Okay? So that dhva you hold on to. It'll help you. It'll always be atmanepada and madhyama purusha bahuvachana. So suppose you know labhadhve, then you should know what? Labdhatu is either atmanepada or ubhayapada. No doubt. Definitely takes atmanepada endings. Should have no doubt. Similarly, swa, if you see, you should know it is atmanepada. No doubt. Okay? So, see the most, and here, labhai, I told you, avahi, ai, avahi, amahi. This is very common. All right. Here also, if you compare with now the lang lakara, what do you find? Remove the a. See here, labhatam. Can you see? Alabhatam. Drop the a, what will you get? You will get labhatam. Drop the a here, alabhetam. What will you get? Labhetam. Drop the a, you'll get labhantam. Very similar. Close. Loto langvat. Similar. Then alabhatha. Here it goes off. You'll get what? Labhaswa. Alabhetham. What do you have here? Labhetham. Just the event. Alabhadhvam. What do you have here? Labhadhvam. Do you see the similarity? So if you know lung well, lot becomes easy. Alabhatha. So all these are tricks, no? Alabhe, alabhavahi, alabhamahi. Now avahi, mavahi, intame. What do you get? Avahi, amahi came. This is how atmanepada is. Sometimes, if you ask me, even I will not remember all these forms every time in my head offhand. But you know what? When you see vaha, vaha, maha, forget the I, avahi, etc. Vaha, maha is always what? Uttama purusha, dual and plural. This much remember. Labhavaha, labhamaha. Right? Labhavahai, labhamahai. Labhamahi, labhamahi. So vaha, maha is common, right? Hold on to that. How do you remember this? If you remember the common endings for all lakaras, Panini common ending, what are they? Ti, taha, anti, si, taha, tha, mi, vaha, maha. That vaha, maha is vasmas. That's how you connect. Very useful to remember general endings because it will help you to connect in various situations. Slight changes. Vaha becomes vahi, vahai, mahi, mahi. That's okay. But component maha is there, right? The entire method I'm trying to get you to get used to is we cannot remember everything, but based on each pratyaya, it gives you a hint about something. Use the hint. Use the hint to guess mostly correctly which is the form without knowing the form. Because our goal is what? Not to write a book in Sanskritam, not write a poem. What do we want? We want to read and understand the words. When you see a word, you should be able to read it. When I say, karava, vahai, vahai, dual, correct, rings a bell. Lot, rings a bell. That's enough. Now, karava, vahi must be kru dhatu. That again you can guess. Kru is sitting there. So like this, you know the dhatu you know the pratyaya at the end of thing, you know in the pratyaya end of sup, and you know krit pratyayas, words all start talking to you. You understand what I mean by talking to you? Honestly, my teacher, Brahma Prakashananji in Nagpur would say, if I had to memorize everything, I would never be able to study Sanskritam. So how did you survive, Mataji? Because of Panini. I remember all the forms. Pratyayas I remember. That's all I need. That's the brilliance. See, that also requires a huge amount of memory. It's not easy. But somehow the human mind is able to keep analytical things more in its head sometimes. If that works for you, use it. If you're better off at memorizing, memorize. Wonderful. No problem. Paramarthananji will say, if you can memorize Shabda Manjari and Dhatu Manjari, it's enough. What else do you need? 2 small books, memorize them fully. Not easy. Depends on when you started. If you started early, it's easy. Later, seems harder. Right? So you choose. You choose a judicious combination of both the approaches, which works for you. All right? Okay. So now, let me bring something more to you in this context. Though we have these 9 forms for parasmaipada and atmanepada, you will find a majority of the forms used will be either madhyama purusha ekavachana, very common, or madhyama purusha bahuvachana. These are very common. Or sometimes it could be these ekavachana and bahuvachanam in prathama purusha, third person. So I'm saying, if you don't remember first person, you are not likely to hurt a whole lot. Not for lang lakara, okay? For lot lakara. All right. Now, here what do you get? Patha. If it is 10th kana, we'll get choraya. No visarga, no. It looks like there is no ending. See, titaha anti, sitaha tha, mi vaha maha. No ending seems to be there in patha. Do you recognize that? See, pathasi in lat lakara, apathat in lang lakara. Apathat, apatatam, apathan, apataha is second person singular form. Pathasi is second person singular form. But here what? Patha, that si is not there, taha is not there, nothing is there. That is typical madhyama purusha ekavachana lot lakara for 1, 4, 6, 10 ganas. It looks like there is no ending. All right. But if it is not in the 1, 4, 6, 10, then you will find the ending will be he. He. Like vidhi. Jani he. Like that, you will find an ending. Okay. So we will try to ride on that. Okay. That when you see that he, or you find that there is no ending, then it's likely to be lot madhyama purusha ekavachana. And you will catch it by seeing if it's sambodhana or a tvam involved. Connect. Say tvam, it must be madhyama purusha ekavachana. Or if you say hey Rama, it should be madhyama purusha ekavachana. In that context, if you see a he ending or like this, you know it is lot madhyama purusha ekavachana. And if it is atmanepada, what will it be? It will be either swa or dhvam, 2 markers. Very important markers. So now with this in view, I'm giving you now a whole bunch of examples for these forms only. Okay. Any questions so far? Good. No questions. We will go forward then. Now look at this. What I have got in table is dhatu first, then second person singular, second person plural for parasmaipada and for atmanepada. Okay, this should have been 2, 3. I'm sorry. Okay. So now what? Look at bhu. Bhu will become what? Bhava. I can say Ayushman Bhava. Bhava means what? You be. Bhavati, Bhavataha, Bhavanti. What is common in all of the three? In Latlakara? Bhava. Right? Pashyati, Pashyataha, Pashyanti. What is common to all of them? Pashya. That is what you will find in Lot, Madhyama Purusha, Ekavachana. Bhava. Then plural what? Advanta. Bhavata. Ti, taha. Look at Latlakara. Ti, taha, anti. Si, thaha, tha. Here what happens? Taha, ta. Tha becomes ta, okay? So bhavata, kuru, kru dhatu. Very, very useful to us. Kru dhatu. What will it become? Kuru. Like Swamiji's song is what? Kuru sevam tvam. Kuru sevam. Kuru. Kuru means do. Very important. Even if you don't remember all others, remember this. Kuru. And what will it be in plural? Kuruta. And kru dhatu is ubhayapadi. Therefore, you'll have also a kurushva. In Gita, do you remember the word? Kurushva madarpanam. Kurushva will come. Means you do this offering. Kurudhvam. Bhaja dhatu. What do you see our tomorrow's class? Bhaja Govinda. What is bhaja? It is Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana. Who is being addressed? The listener. Bhaja. Hey, you do prayer. Bhaja. Bhajata. Bhajata is plural. If you are a person who listens to Carnatic classical music, and if you listen to Muthu Swami Bhagavatar's Kritis, you will not miss this Bhajata and Bhaja. You cannot miss it. 100% you will get it. Okay? Bhajasva. Same meaning. Atmanepada. Bhajadhvam. And what I would say to you is 90% of your life will be covered with Bhaja and Bhajasva. Bhajasvamam. Bhagavad Gita you will find. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru. Kuru came. Right? You will find a lot of them. Asadhatu, another important dhatu. What will it become? Edhi. Go and find Edhi in Kathopanishad. You will find it. In the first adhyaya, you will find it. Sta. Sta, that's all. Whereas in Latlakara event, staha, asti, staha, santi. This is sta. Normally not seen much. Ya. Ya dhatu means go. Yahi. Yahi means what? Go. So, Maye, Yahi, Yahi. You please go away. Maya, don't cover my buddhi. Yahi, Yahi. You will hear this in Dikshitar Kriti sometimes. Yata. This is plural. In Gatau, to come. Wherever I put dash, what does it mean? It means it is parasmaipada, therefore it has no atmanepada forms, okay? That's all. Yahi, then ihi, ita. With. With becomes what? With plus he becomes vidhi. Sandhi will happen. Some rules happen there. Vidhi. So what does vidhi mean now? What will vidhi mean? With means to know. What will vidhi mean? You know. Command. Or you please know. You ought to know. All these meanings are possible. I pray, you know. You know what is good for you. That's a prayer now, not a command. You should know what is good for you. Vidhi. Atmanam rathinam vidhi. Shariram rathamevatu. Does it ring a bell somewhere? Kathopanishad. Atmanam rathinam vidhi. Vidhi means what? You better know. What should you know? For the imagery of the chariot, know the Atma to be what? Equivalent to the Rath. No. Atmanam rathinam, the one who is in the Ratha, the passenger. Right? Who is being addressed? Tvam Nachiketa. Hey Nachiketa, Tvam Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. Okay? So Bhagavan will say what? Vidhimam Amritam Avyayam. Vidhimam, know me. Arjuna, know me as what? Amritam. As deathless, as timeless. Avyayam. So like this, you will find n number of times Vidhi in Vedanta. No problem, you will find it. What should you remember now? What does Vidhi mean? You know. Vid means no. Vid jnane. Vid has 4 forms, okay? Vidil rabhe, vid jnane, vid sattayam. Lot of forms are there. You have to be cautious. Now, atmanepada, parasmaipada. Which gana? All this will make a difference. Okay? So, I am giving you what is simple because complications are not necessary in day one, okay? But I'm saying even if you get this much, you will find a lot of forms will make sense to you in the language without trouble. Okay, let's go further. Then, Shas, Anushasane, to teach. Shadhi. Do you remember this in Gita? Shadhi mam tvam prapannam. Right? Shadhi means what? You please instruct me. Please is there, not vidhi. Prarthana, not nimantrana, not amantrana. Understand now how the meanings have to be seen? Shishta. Shishta is what? Look, Shishta can be a pratipadika. Right? Shishta. Shishta can mean what? One who is cultured. Pratipadikam. Shishtaha. Or Shishta can mean what is remaining. Anna Shishtaha. But when I say Shishta without any further addition, that is a padam, not a pratipadikam. And what is that? That is plural of shas dhatu, parasmaipada, madhyama purusha plural. Yuyam shishta, tvam shadhi. Not normally seen, but just sharing the form with you. As I said, if you remember madhyama purusha ekavachana, I would say 75% of the time you will be okay. That's the main form to keep in mind here. That's why I'm highlighting that for you. Han has got a slightly different form, jahi. Doesn't become hahi or hanhi, becomes jahi. Gita example you should find. Jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. What is jahi now? Kill, destroy. Okay? And and plural is what? Hata. See this, all these plurals I'm showing you to show you that they will resemble sometimes the kta ending. But that's a pratipadika. It has declined. This is the word itself. It's padam. Keep this difference in view. Don't confuse pratipadika and pada. They're two different animals, okay? Pratipadika is a noun base to which you have to add a sup ending to get a padam. All right. As, upaveshane, to sit. As means to sit, like asanam. Now what is it? It is not parasmaipada, it's atmanepada. Therefore, asva. Asva means what? You please sit. Adhvam, you all sit. If you look at Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Maitreyi goes to Yagyavalkya to study, her husband. And what will he say? Ehi. He is there. What does it tell you? It's lot lakara, madhyama purusha ekvachana. Which dhatu? In gatau. To go. Ehi. You please come. Ihi. Ehi. You please come. Aswa. Please sit down and listen. Ehi asva. Maitreyi Brahmana. Example, okay? So if you're familiar, you can connect in your head. That way you'll have a reference. Ah, there it is there. It works. For me, it works well. If I get one reference, it will stick here much more likely than not. Okay? So Ehi Asva, both you will find in Maitreyi Brahmana. Then, now, this is an interesting fellow. There is a dhatu called ik, smarane, and there is a dhatu called ing, adhyayane. There are two different dhatus. Content of both is e. Both will go with adhi. Adhi upasarga. Now, when you say adhihi, it means what? Please remember for my sake. Adhihi means what? Please remember for my sake. What is the example you should remember? Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti satapotapyata. Bhriguvalli of Taittiriya Upanishad. You cannot miss it. Adhihi, 100 times you'll hear Adhihi there. Adhihi means what? Madartham smara. Please remember for my sake. This is Adhi ik smarane. It is parasmaipada. Okay? Therefore, he is coming. What does it tell you parallelly? Wherever you see he, it is not in 1, 4, 6, 10. That should be clear now. Jahi, handhatu cannot be in 1, 4, 6, 10. Adhihi cannot be in 1, 4, 6, 10. All right? These are all, see, these are like small, simple fruits that you can harvest on the way without any extra effort. Okay? Harvest what you can without trouble. That's the way you become smarter. Otherwise, everything is hard work. Right? So harvest what you can on the way. Now, second one, adhi plus ik. Ing. Adhi plus ing, adhyayane, is what? To study, to teach. That kind of meaning will come. To study, actually. Now, what will it become? It is, fortunately, it is going to be atmanepada. Therefore, what you'll get now, you won't get adhihi, you'll get adhishva. Adhishva means what? You learn. You learn. But you know what? Suppose you make it causative. Then it becomes adhyapaya. That pa comes extra. Yes, Sujata. Unmute and ask.
That E in parasmaipada is in the sense of smarana.
Correct.
In atmanepada, it is learn.
Learn. Correct. See that, but interestingly, that E in both cases will only go with adhi.
Achha,
Not by
adhi,
itself. Not by E by itself. It will always go with adhi upasarga. Nityam.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Please mute yourself, okay? Yeah. So, what was I trying to say? Yeah. So I was telling you now that when you have this causative, then an extra pa comes when you have akaranta dhatu. Okay? Akaranta dhatu will get it. So here, it's not akaranta, adhi ing, but it becomes what? Adhyapaya. Adhyapaka means what? One who causes you to learn. Adhyapanam, causing you to learn. Therefore, teaching. There is no dhatu teach here. The dhatu is learn. But you put a causative. Cause to learn is teach. You understand? This is how sometimes causatives will make a lot of difference. In Sanskrit, you use causatives to get words which you otherwise won't get. You know? So, cause to learn becomes to teach. Adhyapanam. And when you get that form, then it becomes parasmaipada or atmanepada. You'll get adhyapaya or adhyapayasva. Both will come. All causatives will take both parasmaipada and atmanepada forms. All of them. 10th gana and causatives are similar. And setting up things so that later it's easy to build up, okay? These are all setting things up slowly. Okay. Now, brew, to speak. Vaktayam vachi. What will it be? Bruhi. Parasmaipada, bruhi. Atmanepada, brushva. Brudhvam. Now, how will you remember bruhi? Telugu Garu, do you know Tyagaraja Swami's song? Bruhi Mukundeti. No, that's not Tyagaraja. That is actually coming from
Sadashiva Brahmendra.
Sadashiva Brahmendra. Correct. Yes. But Bruhi Mukundeti. Bruhi. Yes, Venkat, you have a question?
No, Swamiji, I was trying to help you off the composer.
Good. Thank you. So I'm saying, I'm sure Tyagaraja would also have some Bruhi somewhere. I don't know, but offhand, but it will be there. So music is a great accompaniment for Sanskritam in some ways, okay? Because we have so much of Sanskritam in them. Yes, Venkat.
In the context of music, when you were bhajata, I was thinking of Maitreem bhajata and trying to.
Correct. Maitreem bhajata sakala janeshu or sakala janeshu, right?
Maitreem bhajata Akila Hride.
Akhila Chetrim.
Chetrim, yes.
Something like that. Correct. That is Kanchi Acharya's correct.
Yes,
That's exactly that. Maitreem bhajata means you all take to friendship. Correct. Good example. Maitreem bhajata sakala hrijjetrim. That goes with Maitri. Hrijjetri. Jetri is trich. One which wins. Wins over what? Heart. Hrijjetrim. Maitreem bhajata. Then what? Dharmam. I don't remember the whole song, but if you remember the song, you will find many more useful words there. Spardham tyajata. One word came to mind. Spardham tyajata. Tyajata is what? Plural. Give up competition. So this Maitreem bhajata is a very well-known composition of Kanchi Acharya, composed specially to be delivered in the UN, and it was delivered by M.S. Subbulakshmi, who could get her voice there due to the blessings of Kanchi Acharya. It's an amazing story. Beautiful song also. Maitreem bhajata. It's a song that the world should pay heed to, but doesn't. Anyway. All right. So bruhi, bruta is plural. Brushva, brudhvam. Stu. Stuhi. Stuhi. And sometimes in sandhi it will become shtuhi. Same word, but will become shtuhi. Stuta. Stushva. Stuvidhvam. Because it is Bhayapati. Then hatyage, to give up. And there you have multiple possibilities. Jahihi, jahihi, jahahi. And normally I have only seen jahihi. Most common is jahihi. I am sure you will find it in Vedanta text somewhere. I don't remember offhand. Okay. Then, what does it mean? Give up. Jahi was what? Destroy, kill. Jahihi is what? Give up, be cautious, don't mix up. Jahi is handhatu, destroy. Jahihi, give up. Okay. Now we have dudanj dane, to give. Why I have said dudanj dane? There's also a da dane. Dudanj dane is third gana dhatu. It is a third gana dhatu. So it goes like dehi. And plural is datta. In atmanepada, datsva, dadhvam, dehi. Dehi is for dha dhatu. Now, suppose you take da dhatu of first gana. That has a different form. It will become yacha. Da becomes yacha. Yachati, yachataha, yachanti. Interestingly, yam dhatu also becomes yacha. Da is to give. Yachati means gives. Yam means what? To restrain. Yachet. Yachet tvang manasi pragyaha. Tad yachet jnana atmani, etc. Kathopanishad. That is different. Da yach is parasmaipada. So what will be the second person singular? Yacha. Yachata. But when it's third gana, da, same meaning, dane, then the meaning is what? Words will be what? Dehi. De, me mudam dehi. You will hear this song. You know, Dikshitar Kriti. Mudam dehi. Give me pleasure. Give me joy. Mudam dehi. Lot of prayers are dehi, okay? Please give me something. So you'll find dehi in so many songs. So I'm saying, you know, if you're a enjoyer of music, you will find that these words will flow in your head and you won't have to search for them. They will always be there, right? So dehi is cleared. Okay. Then dha dhatu, to support, to sustain, will go as thehi. Dhatta, dhatsva, dhadhvam. Chur dhatu. Entire 10th gana will be like this, okay? Entire 10th gana will be like this. See, I'm trying you a new convention now, okay? I want you to learn this. 3 means third gana. U means vayapadi. 10 means 10th gana. U means vayapadi. So it's in both. Choraya in parasmaipada. Chorayata, plural. Chorayasva in atmanepada. Chorayadhvam, plural. Okay? Means what? You steal. You please steal. When will you use this? Hey Krishna, you please steal my mind. Right? You please steal, or you have stolen. Doesn't matter. I'm sure you will find some bhajan with that sense. It will be there. Just have to look for it. Okay. Why this? I'm marking this for you so that you know any 10th gana dhatu or causative will go like this. 1/10 gana, if you know a lot. We will do this causative and 10th gana together a little later. Gya dhatu, very common for us. Therefore, these words are very important for you. Janihi. Janihi means what? You please know. You know. Janita. You all know. As a vidhi or all the other possible meanings. Janishva will be in parasmaipada, atmanepada. Jani dhvam. Yes, Venkat.
Swamiji, in that Chora, there is one bhajan with Chitta Chora. So would that be Madhyama Purusha?
That would be Sambodhana probably. Chitta Chora. Right? Check the context. It's likely to be a Sambodhana.
Sambodhana.
Context will tell you. Because Chora will not be Madhyapura. It will have to be Choraya. Chittam Choraya. You cannot have a compound there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Janihi. Atmanam Vijanihi. Brihadaranyaka you will find. Vijanihi. What is Vi? Visheshena Janihi. Natu Samanyena. Very clearly you know. Okay. Then, simple dhatu, okay? Patha. Patha Purusha. Patha Vyakaranam. Read Vyakaranam. Important. Vedam Patha. That kind of meaning will come. Labha. Atmanepada. Therefore, Labhasva. Labhadhvam. Shru. Shru becomes what? Slight change. Shrinu. Refa and U becomes R. Shrinu. Pay attention. Shrinu. Shrinuta. Very common word in Vedanta. Shrinu. Listen. Shravanam kuru ityartha. Now, I think I duplicated. Hana. Jahi hata. But you have extra here now. What? It happens to be in both ganas. Therefore, you'll get ahasva ahadvam. I will remove the first hana. So it will be no duplicates. Gam becomes what? Gacha. Plural, gachata. Gacha gacha. Have you heard this Manisha Panchakam? You know? So Manisha Panchakam, the Shankara is supposed to tell a Chandala, apasara, apasara, move away. That is also what Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana lot. Apasara. You are saying no ending as though. Sara is parasmaipada. Apasara, move away. Then the question is asked, you know, what should move away? So he says, gacha gacha, you say, kim bruhi gacha gacheti, annamayat annamayam, अथवा चैतन्यमेव चैतन्यात् हे द्विजवर दूरीकर्तुं वाञ्छसि ब्रूहि ब्रूहि will come. That all these you will find there because that Manisha Panchakam is a dialogue between the Chandala and Shankara. Therefore, a lot of loads will come. You can look there. Yes, Ganeshanji, you have a question.
Swamiji, Pibare Ramarasam.
Yes.
That it looks like Piba and Are, is it?
Re, not Are. Re. Like Are Maitreyi. Same way, Re also. Re is an extra you add to Sambodhana.
Okay, thank you.
So you will see that Re, I'm sure you will find Re in some music compositions. Not coming to my head right now. But Re is common. He, Re, Are, all these are common with Sambodhana. Yes, Venkat.
Swamiji, in Bhajare Manasa, Bhajare.
Correct. Correct. Bhajare Re Manasa Shri Raghuviram. That's where it'll go. So Bhajare Manasa. Re Manasa. A mind. Come on, do bhajanam of Raghuvira. So very common. Very common. This class seems to be half music, okay? I like it. All right. Then. So Piba there by the Ganeshan is Piba Re Ramarasam. Re is the Bhakta. Piba Re.
Same way as Manasa Sancharare.
Correct. Manas Sancharare also correct. Brahmani Manas Sancharare. Correct. See again, Sanchara. Sanchara. Chara is sitting there, okay? What form is that?
Lot only. Chara.
Lot. Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana. That's what you have to catch immediately. Yeah. Nama. Just Nama. Nam dhatu makeup Nama. Namata. So, you know, Namaste Astu. That is Namaha. Okay? But it's just Nama. Namami, different. Nama. Nama means you salute. Bhuj dhatu. Yes, Venkat. Unmute.
Swami, Namah Pranavartaya, that will also be Namaha.
That is also Namaha.
Okay.
Om Namah Pranavarthaya. So that Namaha is a avyaya. Namas. And that will govern the fourth case. Nama should be plain Nama. Not getting an example offhand. Manmana Bhaktaha Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru there also. If it comes, I'll tell you. Bhuj dhatu, to experience. So watch the difference here. He is getting added, but becomes what? Bhungdhi. Bhungdhi. Not a common form. Bhungta. But atmanepada is what? Bhungshva. Have you seen this form in Gita? If you remember, you will find it. Bhungshva. Means enjoy, experience. Tyaja. Tyajare bhavabhayatapam. Tyajare. Re came again, okay? Tyaja. Tyaja is give up. Tyajata. I told you. In Kanchi Acharya's bhajan, it is give up competition. Tyajata. Spardham tyajata. Bhid, to split. Bhindhi. I'm giving these examples for you to see. He becomes dhi. Bhindhi. Bhinta. Bhintsva. Bhindhvam. Similarly, chid becomes chindhi. To tear apart. Separate. Chinta. Chintsva. Chindhvam. Don't confuse it with chinta, okay? That is chintaya. Cheta Shriramam Chintaya. Chintaya is 10th Gana, like Choraya. Chintaya, you think about, you contemplate, you meditate on. Dhyai, sorry, before that, Stha. Stha dhatu becomes, you should know the form. Stha becomes what in Latlaga first? Tishtati, Tishtataha, Tishtanti. Therefore, same will happen in Lot also. Tishtha. Tishtha means what? Stand. Tishtha. Stand. Don't move. Suppose I have a gun in my hand. Tishtha. Don't move. Uttishtha. Get up. Okay. So Tishtha. Tishtha means you watch out. Wait. Stand there. Don't run away. I'm going to get you now. That kind of meaning. Tishtha. Tishtha. In causative, what happens? Akaranta dhatu pa will come. You'll get sthapaya. Sthapayata. So in Swamiji's bhajan, you'll find what? Dharman sthapaya. Sthapaya. You know, in his bhajan on Mahalinga. Mahalinga Vibho. Mahalinga Vibho. So there he will say this. Bandhan mochaya mochaya. Dharman sthapaya sthapaya. Mochaya. Get it immediately. Cause to be freed. Causative. Therefore, mochaya. Sthapaya. Cause to be established. Cause dharma to be established. Who is being addressed? Mahalinga Vibho. Oh Lord as Mahalinga Swami. Then dhyai. Dhyai dhatu becomes dhyaya. If you remember the form, dhyayati, dhyayatah, dhyayanti. Dhyaya will come immediately. Dhyayata. Dhyayata you will find in Gita or in Upanishad for sure. You meditate on. Pur in Churadi Gana, it's in multiple Ganas, so it's in Churadi, 10th Gana. So it is 10th Gana, 10U. Okay. Puraya, Pura, two forms. Purayata, Purata, or Purayaswa, Purayadhvam. Through, to cross. Tara, Tarata. Okay. But causative is most common, more common. Taraya. Taraya again will be very, very common in songs. Okay. Taraya Mam. Help me cross over. Make me cross over. Cause me to cross over. Taraya Mam. Puja Swami, you have it in the bhajan. Devi Jnaneshwari. Palaya Mam. Pal dhatu. Pal dhatu in causative will become palaya. Palaya Mam. Palaya Mam. Avidya Moha Mahajaladhim Taraya Mam. Taraya means cause me to cross over. Taraya Mam. Beautiful. Yes, somebody had raised a hand. I wanted to finish what I was saying and then take the question. Was there a question still? Somebody raised the hand? Yes, Geeta. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that Avinayam, Apanaya Vishnu, there also that
Correct. Apanaya.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Apanaya
Yeah.
is Madhyama Purusha lot. Correct.
Yeah.
In fact, that whole mantra, Avinayam Apanaya Vishnu, Tamaya Manaha, Shamaya Vishaya Mrigatrishna, Bhutadayam Vistaraya, Taraya.
Taraya Samha.
All of them are lot Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana. Some causative, some plain. Yes, Priyanka.
If it is positive, is this like a separate gana or pratyaya?
No, causative is a pratyaya called nich. We add it to any dhatu to make a causative. But 10th gana also has a niche inbuilt in it. It is called swarthe niche. We will look into it later. Okay. But the forms of 10th gana and causative will be similar. That's the commonality. Okay. Yes, Deepthi.
Swamiji, this is for Jahihi. You were asking the example, no? Then
Uh-huh.
Bhajagopindam, it is Moodha Jahihi.
Correct. Very nice. Moodha jahihi dhanagama trishna. Correct. And what does it mean? Abandon, give up. Correct. Good example. Thank you. Didn't occur to my head. All right. Then pal becomes palaya. Okay. So that much is the lot lakara form. Prema, go ahead. Please ask a question. Prema, having any difficulty unmuting yourself? Your hand is up. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot about it. I wanted to ask you here, there is a prayoga which says, Yat tan nataha asmi. So what is that nataha there? Nam dhatu.
Nam dhatu kta pratyaya.
Okay.
Very straightforward. Nata, hata, gata.
Okay.
Just ta pratyaya.
Okay, Swamiji. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Santosh.
Yes, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji.
Pranam.
So, like when it is Ubhayapadi, Sevam Kuru or Sevam Kurushva.
Both are
which
equally
one?
good. Both are equally good. Equally good. No problem. See, only in certain cases where the meaning can change whether the person is doing for himself or for others, you have to be extra cautious with which form. Otherwise, both are equally good. Generally, both are equally good, but there is a potential to abuse it if we use the wrong one when that meaning is possible. Like say, you are doing a sankalpa in a temple. A priest is doing a sankalpa, right? So if he uses atmanepada, it means he is not doing it for you. He should use parasmaipada. Okay? So he should say pujam karomi. He shouldn't say karishye. If he says karishye, he is doing for himself. That is not right. That's the idea. So when you do at home, you say karishye. But if a temple, it should be karomi. So except in such very special situations, normally. Another dhatu common is pach. Pach dhatu is ubhayapada. Okay? So pachami is I cook for myself or for me and others, both. Whereas if I use, pache only for myself, Puji Swami will say you're cooking in a small Rukmini cooker only for yourself. Don't give anybody else. That will be pache. Whereas pachami is for me and for others too, not only for me. So except in such situations, don't have to worry about atmanepada or parasmaipada. Both will be equally okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Oh, yes, Bhuma.
Swamiji, in the puja sense, I recently found in one of the pujas, it was like samarpayamaha.
Correct.
Agrapa. So is that also a common practice? And
Yeah, because it's a samashti. A lot of people are doing samarpayamaha, kurmaha, etc. We will say. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I think we have come to the end of my examples. Oops, I'm sorry. And where is it now? Yeah. Next, we have to get into Vidilink forms. We will see that next week. Yes, Venkat.
The Puraya is it composition Puraya Mama Kamam.
Correct. Puraya will come. Correct. You will find these. Say, I picked a lot of words because I hope with this way of remembering, you will remember the forms, at least both, the second person singular and plural. If you remember, half of Lot's job is done. Okay. So any questions? I have been asking you questions all the time, so I hope you have none. But if you have any, please feel free to ask. This was a fun class for me because we just talked some music. Yes, Deepthi.
Swamiji, just a small doubt, like whatever examples in today's table were given for the 10th Gana,
Yeah.
so they're all Ubhayapadi. So it's like 10th Gana dhatus, all are Ubhayapadi?
Yes, mostly. There could be some exception, but generally, yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else? Okay. Good. So just letting you know, I don't know exactly when I will do it, but when I feel I'm short on time to prepare, I will start with Panini a little. I won't need much preparation for that. I'll have to get you started and I won't need time for doing all that. So I will do that probably in a week or two. All right. I don't know when, just giving you advance notice. So even if you haven't caught up with any classes, I know most of you are here are well caught up, but even if you haven't, don't miss when Panini comes. Otherwise, in the beginning, if you miss Panini, you will not come to this class again. Okay. So it's important that you don't miss it. More likely not next week, because next week we still have to do Vidilink forms. Okay. And maybe I will even include the Sya, the future forms a little, so you get familiar with. I'll think about it. And then we have to do Shatri Shanach and Tich and Nul. These pratyas I have not yet covered from that pratyaya table. But I will see what makes sense. I will do. Most likely next week it won't happen, but in a week or two, I want to get that started. So we will start. I'm calling this basic series. We will stop this when we finish what we are doing now. And then we will start looking at the basics of alphabets from Panini's viewpoint to start with. And then we will leverage that to get into understanding forms and deriving forms with more ease as we go. Some Sandhi rules also will cover them. That's my plan of action for now. Okay. Stop now. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I'll send you another exercise today. Okay. This exercise will be only recognizing the form lakara, dhatu, and will be 50% lot lakara and 50% other lakaras. Okay. So you'll have 50 of these to take care of, not too many. So I thought it won't be too hard on you. So that's going to be the exercise coming up your way. And when you're done with it, you'll get another 50 like this next week. And most of the examples are from Gita. So you will be able to stop them also as you go. All right. So you will find that I expect without too much of effort, you will be able to find out all lot lakaras and see what they mean as well. Meaning, contextually, it will depend. So you give any one meaning, it's okay. I don't have a particular meaning you have to give, because otherwise you give 5 meanings. Amantrana, Nimantrana for each sentence, it'll become a long homework. Don't do that. Just understand it's lot lakara, I'm happy. Okay. So that's what's coming in your next assignment. Last assignment, those who submitted got the response back. If you have any questions, you can ask about that. Otherwise, You can look at it at your own leisure. All right. Yes, Deepthi.
Swamiji, I had a couple of questions related to the 4-2
Okay.
answer key. So just
Harsha,
the
while I'm waiting for that, just want to let you know that, you had asked me this question about madhya. Madhye. You said, when will what's the meaning difference between avyaya and regular pratipadikam? So in fact, that avyaya I find is really strictly not an avyaya except when it normally comes in a compound. So better to treat it as a pratipadikam. So I have taken it as a pratipadikam in the key. That's what you will find. Okay. The word avyaya is said in the dictionary, but it's a little complicated to explain. But I would prefer to keep it as madhya as a word there, a pratipadikam, not as avyaya. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Deepthi, go ahead.
yes, so Swamiji, this is about that usages.
Yeah.
So this pravritte, it's some places it's mentioned like karta and karma. So it's written as karta. I couldn't understand that. Ta pratyaya, pravrita, pravritte. The answer key.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Sixth row.
I think I made a mistake. Okay. Should be karma. No, actually, you know what? Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
Pravrite
See,
Sampata. Sati Saptami.
No, I know Sati Saptami. I'm just thinking, vritta there. Vritta cannot be karmani.
Gati arthaka and akarmaka only.
Kartari, gati arthaka, karmaka, kartari possible. Let me look at it again and come back to you, okay? I don't want to say something offhand. I'll think about it a little. Okay?
And this where places where uvacha, aha, there also you have written karta, in like 18, number 18th row.
Yeah.
So
Uvacha.
why do we need to mention there as karta?
Okay.
Because in the whole exercise we didn't write it that way. Karta and karma we didn't write in the answer.
No, I did ask you to write. Whether
Yeah,
you
it was written in lakara. Yeah, it was mentioned, but
Okay.
we didn't answer.
No, the
that.
point, why I'm saying that is this. Look, it's a kartari prayoga. It is saying the karta. That's all.
Okay.
Because that uvacha is lit lakara, right? It could have been karmani lit also. We don't see those forms, okay? It's possible. So I just want to drill this into your heads that we are looking at kartari. Because if any time you get a karmani usage, you know immediately. As I said to you, what we normally call all our declensions, when I say patati, patata, patanti, all these are all kartari. Karmani would be what? Pathyate, pathyete, pathyante. You have to go all atmanepada. So in every word, every verb, you better know whether it's kartari or karma. It's good to know. Normally we do it only for lat lakara. Suppose I say pachyate, you would immediately tell me what? It's karmani. But suppose I say vedo nityam adhiyatam. What is that now? Kartari or karmani? It is lot lakara, but karmani. So karmani kartari is possible in any lakara. We don't see, fortunately, too many karmanis elsewhere. Okay, otherwise we'll be always be scratching our head. So to keep that in view, I specifically say uvacha is kartari. It is not what is said, but who is speaking. Okay.
So mostly my questions are related to this karta and karma only. So in that table, 51, the row number 51 is kankshitam.
Yeah. And there I would have said karma probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
That also I couldn't understand that.
Okay. All right. Kankshitam. You tell me now. Kankshita, what is the pratyaya there? Do you identify or not?
Ta
pratyaya in what sense?
The pratyaya usually it is karma sense only.
So it's not always karma. Suppose I say gata,
That is
is it karta or
gata.
karma? You have to know now. Contextually, you have to know.
Okay.
Right? But kankshita will be
Kanchita
karma.
is karma.
Will be karma only. If you have gata, you have to ask me, what do you mean now? Is it that ta or this ta? Which ta? Both are possible.
Both are possible.
Right? But see, the benefit of that is when you know it's kartari, karmani, and if it's in first case, then you know that the word in first case will be the karma. That connection you will get. See, when I say kankshitam phalam avapnoti. First, phalam is first case or second case?
Phalam apnoti.
Kankshitam phalam apnoti. This is your difficulty. Phalam means trouble will come. Both can be 1, 1 or 2, 1. Which one now? It looks like object. You will say 2, 1 first. It is not. It is 1, 1. How do you gain that? Because kankshitam is denoting what? Karma. Saha apnoti. Ramaha kankshitam phalam apnoti. But karma is what? Sorry, 1 second. I said apnoti. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. All I'm saying to you is kankshitam is denoting the karma of kanksh dhatu. Phala is what is desired by you. It is not the desirer. You understand? The word kankshita is pointing out to what is desired and not the desirer. Suppose I say kankshita, not strilinga, kankshitru. Pratipadika, kankshitru. It will become kankshita, like karta. Now kankshita will denote what? Karta means the agent of desiring. The significance of knowing, see, between karta karma, wherever these two are possible, it's very helpful to know what is being denoted. Otherwise, this, especially in napumsaka, you will have one time or another where you'll be confused whether it's 2-1 or 1-1. You won't know which one is going on. This is a common problem. Because long ago when we studied in school, we thought every object will be karma. Not true. Object can be first case also. And they taught us by saying second case. Cause and that ending. Phalam is both same. What will you do with it? Trouble. We have to address it. And to address it is why I have started with karmani kartari right in the beginning. To make sure this karma and kartari prayogas are very clear to you. Therefore, I ask you to say which karaka is being denoted. Is that clear?
No, this if we take pratipadika kankshita.
Yeah.
So when it declines, then kangshitam will be 2-1, right?
Okay, let it be.
How
So what? Look, now let's understand one thing. When kankshita, you say kankshita is a form, right? I'll ask you first, is it neuter or masculine?
Kankshita will be masculine.
Could also be neuter. Could also be neuter. It is ta pratyaya, takes all three genders. Therefore, it should be kankshitam phalam. It should be kankshitaha, Ramaha, Devaha, Ishtadevata, Kankshitaha Devaha. Should be Kankshita Devi. Could be anything. Where are you going with that? Decline, let it decline anyway. What you understand is what is the base word denoting. See, now, Kankshitam phalam. Kankshitena phalena. Case is changed. Kankshitena phalena. Still, what is Kankshita? The object. Phala is the object of Kanksha, doesn't go away. Even Kankshitena phalena. The connection is between the dhatu in the kridanta and what is its object. Because you have phala, that phala is an object for kankshita. Therefore, kankshitena phalena. Kankshitat phalat. They will always go together because kankshita and phala are tied to each other, one being the object of the other. Am I making sense?
Right.
See, this whole thing helps you in tying things together. That's how you tie things together. So whenever you have a kridanta, you have to look at the dhatu, especially karma. You have to look for it. If it's a karmaka, does it have a karma in the sentence? You have to connect that karma to that kridanta pada. It doesn't matter what case it's used in. You have to connect.
Yes, in the answers it's given like which one is getting connected to.
Yes.
Which one didn't do it. In the answer,
Doesn't matter. I am showing you what to do. See, I can't expect everybody to do everything right up front. So in an answer, I try to give you more information so you can understand how you can leverage it better. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Santosh.
Swamiji, the same thing as Diptiji said. I've
Okay.
written this Vyavasthitan Dhartarashtan Drishtva. I wrote it, it is denoting the karma,
Mhm.
but you have given it as the karta. So Vyavasthitaha, it's a ta pratyaya.
Correct.
So it's in the second
Now-
Ditya Vibhakti Bahuvachan.
Now let's understand this. What is the dhatu?
Stha dhatu.
Stha dhatu. What does it mean?
Stand.
Is it sakarmaka or akarmaka?
Akarmaka.
Akarmaka. Can you take a karma? Cannot. So this is gatyarthaka dhatu. Akarmaka and gatyarthaka. Therefore, ta is the sense of karta. Similarly, in fact, okay, let me reserve that. Pravritta also I'm thinking the same way mostly, Deepthi, but I'll check that once more. Okay? Because with pra upasarga, it may become sakarmaka. That's my doubt there.
So just now you said the Kankshitena.
Yeah.
Even if it is in the Tritiya, we
Yes.
have to see where the base, what the base word is denoting.
Kankshita is denoting a karma, correct. And that
Huh.
karma is a phala in that case.
Huh.
Yeah.
So if it is given Kankshitena, so I am not going to think in the sense of Tritiya Vibhakti. It is Tritiya
Hey, it is Tritiya
but
Vibhakti. What do you mean you're
but
not
what
thinking
it is
Tritiya?
means the denoting part.
Look.
Whether it's the
Understand two things here. Kankshita as a word being a kridanta is denoting a karaka.
Hmm.
That is karma karaka. Now in the sentence it can be used in any case. That case will have its own meaning. Okay. Suppose I say kshura means a knife, a razor. Kankshitena kshurena phalam krintati. Kankshitena kshurena phalam krintati. Krintati means cuts.
Hmm.
I don't know if krintati is a good use here. I've just made up a sentence, okay? Cuts. Cuts what? Phalam krintati. Right. But kankshitena kshurena. Kshurena is what now? What kind of usage? Third case for what
Tritiya.
reason? What
Tritiya.
kind of tritiya?
by
Karana.
the
Karana tritiya, instrument.
current Tritiya.
Therefore, kankshitena is in what sense now? Karane.
Current.
But kankshita is still karmani.
So Swamiji, here Kankshitena and Churena, they are not the neither the adjective. These
They
are two
are.
separate words.
Please
These are
understand.
two.
Kankshitena kshurena sentence. In that sentence, kshurena is being qualified by kankshitena, no doubt. Okay? And kshura in the sentence is a karana, an instrument.
Huh.
Therefore, kankshitena has to be karane tritiya only.
Yes.
But that is the word kankshitena. Okay? But kankshita, the pratipadika itself has a karaka inbuilt, karaka relation inbuilt. That relationship is karma. It is standing for that which is the object of desiring. Kankshita is an object which is desired. without looking at its, look at the pratipadika, I'm saying that to you, without looking at how it is used in sentence. The object which is desired happens to be a knife, and that knife happens to be an instrument in the sentence. In another sentence, it could be Kankshtam kshuram anaya. You bring me the knife which I like. Now it becomes karma. Both in the basic word as well as in the sentence. Anaya. It's a karma for that.
Okay.
Kankshitat, parvatat patati. Now Kankshita is still desired, stands for the mountain, but Kankshitat parvatat becomes apadana there. So you can see that there are two very different things. One is the pratipadika has an inbuilt karaka relationship being denoted, and the word itself can be used in any vibhakti denoting any karaka in the sentence. Is this clear?
Yes.
So it's a very subtle point, but very important to understand clearly that they are two different things. Is that clear, Santosh?
Somewhat clear.
Think about it.
I thought Kankshitena means the one, by the one who desires, by the one who desires.
Listen.
Through him, like by the one who desires, that person is holding a knife.
It is possible. It is possible. Okay? It is possible. But the only thing is, I'm saying the word Kankshita by itself stands for an object. That part you have to hold independent of how the word is used in sentence. Kankshita can be the person, Kankshita can be the object, Kankshita can be apadana, Kankshita can be karana, Kankshita can be adhikarana. Kankshite parvate dhyayati. He sits on top of the mountain, he loves and meditates. What's wrong with that? Nothing. But does Kankshita change? Kankshita is a pratipadikam, and that is a kridanta pratipadika. Understand the difference between pratipadika and pada?
Yes.
Yes, pratipadika is that the base. And how you use that in the pada, you add subhakti. That can be karana, kartari, any adhikarana, sambandha. Kankshitasya krishnasya. Now sambandha I have brought in. No karta involved. No karaka involved there. So everything is possible. Okay? Understand this. Kridanta pada connects to a karaka of the dhatu inherently. And once you have a kridanta pratipadikam, that kridanta pratipadikam can be used in any relationship in the sentence with the other words of that sentence. Spashtam va?
Yes, spashtam.
Sadhu.
Thank you.
Yes, Sharat.
Namaste, Guruji. My question is not related to the exercise, but it's a general question.
Okay.
I'm taking example of two Shanti mantras. One is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, and another is Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu.
Okay.
Now, in case of Sarvesham, means Shashti Bahuvachana,
yeah.
Can it be also technically replaced with Prathama Bahuvachana?
Don't do this blind, okay? You need to understand more. This question is coming because of a lack of clarity about how words connect. It'll take some more time for you to understand this. I'm not going to address it right now. Okay? Depends on, see, in Kridanta, there's a lot of complication involved. Sometimes about 6K can also stand for Karta. It's possible. But it's not a blanket answer. Okay? It's a little more involved there. Okay? You first make sure you do all the exercises and understand them well. Then these kind of questions. You won't run straight to shloka before understanding basics. That won't work. Get the basics straightened out. It'll take some time. Okay? Your question is not so easy. I'll think about it. If I can answer it better next time, I will. I'll think about it too. Yes, Harsha.
Mahi krite is in the answer key, it's given as avyaya.
Yes.
I had assumed that it was 4-1, M41.
Yeah.
Pratipadikam.
You know what the problem will be? If you take Mahikrit as Pratipadikam, the way it will connect is Mahim Karoti iti Mahikrit. That's the way it will connect. The one who makes the earth will be Mahikrit for his sake. It is not that. The meaning is for the sake of the earth. It is not for the sake of the king. It is for the sake of the earth. And Krite is an Avyaya. I mean, this question was, it took me a while to see how should I connect this? What kind of samasa is this? Because it's not common. A Shashti Tatpurusha ending in Avyaya is not common. So I double checked it with somebody else to make sure I'm not wrong. Because, sometimes we can be wrong. So Mahehe or Makhyaha Krite. That's what I think I gave the Vigraha also there. Right? So it's Shashti Tatpurusha. Mahi is feminine, like Nadi Shabda. But Krite is Avyaya, which will go with 6th case. So it's Shashti Tatpurusha ending in an Avyaya, and therefore the whole compound becomes an Avyaya. Not a very common example. It was a head splitter for me for a while because I gave the exercise. Now I have to answer it, So I had to work hard on it myself. Anything else?